Let's connect now. Connecting to this video. We're waiting on the connection right now. I know we're going to record, so I'm going to go ahead and, if necessary, just get the record and put that back up. Post that on Facebook, Twitter, and all of our venues. And it appears that we're live. I don't know if the stream is slow, but I am not getting a pic of it. So then, in the event that you are, we're going to move forward with the moving forward. It appears that we are going live. I hope that I have opportunity to touch some folks. I know who need to see this will see it in the time that they need to see it in. Again, my name is Kenneth, aka Chaos963, and I'm bringing you truth and knowledge and some power and tools and instructions that will be pertinent for your energy in this day that we're in right now. I want to share a couple of things with you. That's one about understanding what we are going through, what we are in. We're in a dimensional shift, and that's what I'm calling it. It's a shift that we just went through. I mean, you'd have to be spiritually numb, spiritually dead, not to know or understand that we did just go through an incredible dimensional shift, and are still going through it. We go through dimensional shifts all the time, and a lot of us that are have our finger more or less on the pulse, we feel it and know it. Sometimes it slips up on us. Sometimes you go through 2 or 3 more in a day than you even realize. Yes, more than one dimensional shift in a day. But what was so powerful about the one we just came through was the fact that so many people felt it, went through it, all of us at the same time. We're still feeling some residues from it. In a later form, I'll present more about dimensional shifts, but for now I just want to share the fact that though we've gone through this thing, it has been an opportunity for us to tap into power that was not afforded heretofore. You feel it. A lot of us have sensed it on different levels, different ways, which is the reason why it's important for us to come together as a group, as a unit, in discussing and understanding those things. And it's not so much discussing and understanding as it is to share the experience, because as I like the way the word says it, iron sharpens iron, so does the countenance of a friend. I want to bring that up because that's so true. We know and understand that when you get with your people, your peers, that you tend to use the street vernacular, chop it up about different things. And while you're chopping it up, you're bringing the precepts, the knowledge that you have to another individual, to another brother or sister or whatnot, and then he takes that and adds it to his, and before you know it, we got cake, man. We got eggs, we got flour, we got a little water, we got milk, or whatever the ingredients might be, but you bring yours, I'm gonna bring mine. As we bring it together, we make this cake. And so that's why it's important for us to do that, to bring all of our revelations, if you will, together and share these things so that we can, as a unit, move forward, and even as individuals move forward. Because truly the bottom line is that you're pretty much traveling this road by yourself. Like where it says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. But, not necessarily have to be with fear and trembling, but you do be by yourself. You come here pretty much by yourself. You'll be leaving by yourself. And in the interim time, you'll have the opportunity to work with brethren and have some fellowship, if you will, to help build on yourself. But getting back to the dimensional shift that we've gone through. And again, I just, as much as anything, just testing this connection, because on yesterday I couldn't even get it up, and so excuse me. So I had to make sure that I got this joint up and running today because I said I'd be there at 7:30 Eastern, and I was there. I started on this yesterday, probably about 1 o'clock, and when showtime came, I still hadn't gotten all the kinks out, and so I spent hours into this until late to the evening working out the kinks, and here we are now. So again, want to share briefly on the dimensional shift. Some of you, like I said, you're in tune enough, astute enough where you felt the dimensional shifts, and some folks they don't, feel a thing. Particularly if you're going through this thing, you drinking and done numbed your spirit out to the point where now you can't even feel that you're waking up in the morning. You become spiritually numb, if you will. But if you are not numb, if you are working on your spirit, working on your higher self, then it's obvious the shift that we went through, and I think the bulk of it, I say went through because the major part we've gone through, but we're still, those of us that are seeking higher things are still going through the end of this. It's like a wave, and a wave comes and it hits big and then it fades. But the fact is that we're still going through, there's still some residuals, if you will, of the dimensional shift. So I want to give you this one. Scripture talks about a dimensional shift that was pretty major. Now I reference a lot of biblical because that's kind of my spiritual foundation. Irregardless of where your foundation is, you have the ability to get and understand all of this. And I say that because there's some folks that get involved in different things and they kind of close themselves off to other spiritual knowledge, to other truths and whatnot. And the word is factual when it says that he who knows one book knows none. So if you only know one book, you pretty much got a problem working there. You've got to expand your knowledge because we're talking about the knowledge of the universe. We're talking about the knowledge of eternity. We're talking about infinite knowledge. There's no way that infinite knowledge could have been brought down into one finite book. So with that understanding, I encourage folks to read, study other spiritual platforms, other knowledge, man, from the ancients, from Kemet, from as far back as you can go to far forward as you can go. Get some knowledge. So again, I wanted to talk briefly about this dimensional shift here, and not necessarily as much as that one we went through or still going through, but one of the main dimensional shifts spoken of in the Word. And it talks about when the Christ energy passed on, it says that after the passing, that it was a earthquake, and the temple to the veil to the temple split top to bottom. That's the magnitude of the things that happen when you go through a dimensional shift. It appears that I'm off now, but I'm going to continue to record this because then I'm going to just go ahead and load it up. But in going through a dimensional shift, there's always on the natural, normal plane a shock wave, if you will. There's always when you have the natural hitting with the supernatural, man, that just doesn't just happen real easy. There's always some sort of shock wave, for lack of a better term. And so into that, again, we look at the word. I think it's Matthew 27:52. I want to bring that up and have you look at that, because into that is one of the places where it is spoken about how that had a shockwave effect to it. And to help better understand that, man, when things like that happen, it's just not simple. And it hasn't been simple what we've gone through over these last few months, well, I'm not even going to say that, but the different things that we've been dealing with, and it has caused an incredible shockwave. We understand and know that things will never, ever be the same again after what we've gone through. I mean, it's just not going to happen. We went through and are going through a major shift. So with that understanding, we need to act accordingly. And when I say act accordingly, I mean we need to look at that and take advantage of it. And when I say take advantage, I mean that there's going to be some people that they are not going to be able to withstand the pressure that the going through this dimensional shift has brought. So if you can't stand the pressure, the only option, there's no a bunch of options, is that you will eventually leave this planet. So I put up on the screen right here, it talks about Philippians when it says here, it says, finally, brethren, it says, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report, if there be any virtue and there be any praise, think on these things. So it's incumbent upon us, and it behooves us to think on certain things as we go through these trials, dimensional shift. I don't want to say trials and tribulations because it's not. In all actuality, this should be and is the greatest time in the history of man that we've seen, that we know, and even of times not in a too distant past, but from the written knowledge and all that we know and understand. And this is a tremendous time. We're going into a metamorphosis. We're being changed into the creation that this platform here is designed for us to be created into. We're moving into that. We're moving into the dimension of super beings. I like some of the stuff we're getting. Well, with movies and whatnot, it shows the superheroes, et cetera, et cetera. That's cute, but I mean, what we are going into is going to be like that on steroids. The word again explains some of that, and it talks about, particularly when the Christ Spirit was here, and it talked about some of the things he did. That's the norm, that we should even now be moving in. But we've been talked out of it, moved out of it, because again, our thinking, whatsoever things are good, just, proper, whatsoever, we need to think on these things. But if you're not thinking on them, basically you are going to manifest the things that you think on. And that's just the fact. It's like, I think the one phrase says, if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. So what do you think? What are you thinking? And the best thing I can give to you for that is to, one, as the computer verbiage says, garbage in, garbage out. Man, I'm hearing people speak with such fear about this time we're going through, and I've been getting some education on how to, or as far as on these demonstrations here, that certain words, well, I'm not trying to trigger them, because I want to be here in front of you for a minute so I could give you some of this that has been given to me. I spoke in the embryo stages. If you saw the first video I put out, it was about a dream, man, and I've been getting these dreams, and not being naive to spiritual things, I realized I need to start moving on this, because as they increased and got more and more intense, I'm like, wow, I'm not gonna let you sleep until you start putting this out. And it's the dreams are just so phenomenal, so real. When I would come out of the dream, it was a reality, man. It wasn't a dream. It was a reality. It was a dimensional shift, if you will, that I come out of. And it was saying, man, let these folks know. One thing to let you know, we win. This has already been played out, so to speak. We win. There's no, read the end of the book. If you would, it be it the Bible, what have you, we win. And so with that understanding in mind, we should take that posture. We should think along those lines. And that will, one, it will keep you healthy. I'm reading about, cats on my Facebook thing. They're talking about, man, Ken, I got this going on with me, that going on with me. I'm thinking, man, that's not how it's supposed to be. I'm not on any medication. I exercise and I eat right, and I'm finna get back on a serious diet. Not even a diet. I don't do the diet, but I eat right and I fast. I'm getting ready to go on a fast, and I challenge some of you to go with me. Go with me. You think you're going through some spiritual stuff, some physical stuff. The Bible talks about it. And again, I have to reference the Bible. That's why I grew up with. I've since been educated on the Bible and have a greater understanding than I had even when I was so-called preaching and whatnot. Now I have like I said, a greater understanding. But it talks about how you'll recover speedily from in your fasting. It's promised a lot of things, and it says, well, you do this, you do that, and then in the metaphysics, it speaks about how cause and reaction. Now, this is just real. And you've lived, most of you enough that are listening to my voice, because I'm sending this out to my Facebook people first. You understand that, for every cause, there's a reaction. Garbage in, garbage out. And a lot of us, or a lot of folks, I'm not going to say us, because I'm not fitting to buy into that. We're snared by the words of our mouth. I'm not buying into that. But for a lot of people, they've been having garbage in, and right now they're really experiencing the garbage out. But we could break that. I hear people always talking about breaking the curse. Break that curse, man. Break the curse. And that means even now, if you've had a life that was detrimental to your health, a life that has caused you to be in a certain way, et cetera, you could change that. You could change that right now. Listen, I don't care how long you travel north. If you get up right now and you travel north for the next 3 years, even until you go around the globe, if you travel north, but the minute that you stop and turn around, you're heading south. You're no longer going north. And this seems simple, but all of it is simple. This stuff ain't deep, man. It's not deep. And that's where a lot of times we fall into pitfalls, because we're trying to make it deep. We're trying to make it deep our way in and deep our way out and figure this and adjust. Man, it ain't even about that, man. All the answers have been given to us. There's so much knowledge coming up now. We have no excuse. We have no excuse to one, not be healthy, one, not be educated, one, not be spiritually astute. Everything you need to get to wherever you want to go right now is afforded to you. All you have to do is apply it. Get in there and apply it to your life. And once you do, you'll change from going south to north, or you'll change from going north to south. If you believe you can, or if you believe you can't, then you're right. You're right. It's incumbent to you, man, to make these changes. So as I said, we've gone through a dimensional shift. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to cut out because I'm just getting hyped, but I'm happy that this line is open, man, and this is getting out. And again, as I said, I'm a recorder too. I'm trying to watch some of my numbers here. But this dimensional shift has been good because, one, it has loosened energy that I've never seen and experienced before. And I'm no novice, man. I was raised in the church, brought up in the church, and I say that not to say that the church is anything different than anything else, because it's not. It's just a platform to get to. It's a means to an end. But all of it is. But into that, by having that and having taken it on a serious level, it has allowed me to be cognizant of spiritual things. And man, I'm telling you, I feel some stuff now that is like, hop, dibble, boobity, boom. You know what I'm saying? This thing, there's power in. But listen, if you're not looking at it, if you're feeding on this television, and if you're listening to the so-called powers that be and that stuff that they're putting out, then you got problems. Because if you're feeding on that, that's what you're going to reproduce. That's what you're going to go. Some of y'all, I was talking to some friends, I can't sleep. You can't sleep? Why is that? Well, and they tell me this one, and I'm on the cell phone, and it's in the bed, and I'm over, and I'm doing the internet, and what? You got? So you got computer, cell phone, and your pad right next to you when you get in bed, and then the last thing that you feed on before you try to go to sleep is them giving you an announcement, 17 more folks, and then they die, and we got this, and this is spreading over here, and we're going to be telling, man, if you're trying to sleep on that, you got a problem, yeah. Digesting and eating too much of that. You need to be digesting and eating things of peace, energy, love, empowerment to you. And I'm telling you right now that there's some things that you can get a hold to that are going to empower you. I'm going to be bringing some of that to you. I'm going to tell you right now, I got all the answers. I got all the answers at the tip of my hand. I might not be able to give it to you, but I'm telling you, because I've studied and learned. I know people that I can call and say, well, brother, I need to know about good food, okay? They can tell me why this food does that, and food combinations, and with your greens and your herbs and your spices, and eating it before 12 and after 12, and the amount of water. Man, they can tell me all that. I don't know all that. But I know enough to do and have my measurement right. And I'm definitely listening. Don't get it wrong. I'm just now getting into my full stride. I'm just now bringing my A game. And I can't even explain that, but I'm going to get into that as well. But the point I make is, listen, all the knowledge you need is here right now. They're finding the scrolls, and they're finding the parchments from thousands of years ago that have been hid. I like in Esther when it talks about for such a time as this. Man, we're getting stuff that has been waiting to be brought to us. When our ancient ancestors was knowing that this prophecy was happening, they knew about it. Thousands of years they prepared. They prepared parchments. They did the planning, and they wrote the stuff down so that when we did start coming into this dispensation, into this dimension, that we would have the tools that we needed, man. And listen, they got books and speakers. We're losing a lot of great. But anyway, there's been some great men and women that have passed on, made the transition, to use that vernacular, and we have what they wrote, but we don't have them. But nonetheless, their voice is still loud and clear. These tools that they've given us, the internet and whatnot, man, you can go on there and you can get some of the great speakers of all time, whoever you want to listen to, that were in our immediate time past, but there's some that were in further back, and if you can't actually get them on video, their writings, man, are still here. So there's no excuse, man, not to get in to the knowledge that your spirit is leading you to get into, be it, like I say, food or spirit or whatever it might be. Grab hold to it. I'm going to be talking to some folks that are still with us. I'm going to be sharing some things that I've learned and come across, and definitely trying to encourage folks to bring your A game. Now's the time for your A game. I'm going to close this out. Again, I just wanted to tap in on this and get this thing going right, and I feel good about what is going on here now. So again, I've been getting prepared for this for a while, and I got to the point where I said, well, I was trying to say, well, maybe I'm not supposed to do this. And I was trying to just lay down on it, And man, the spirit was waking me up to 3 in the morning. I'm like, okay, man, I'll talk. So then I start getting ready to talk, and I need to set up, and I need to get this, and I need to do that. And man, but by the end of the move, I was so troubled, if you will, in my spirit, that I was ready to get a cell phone like I see them do and hit on Facebook and go for it. I wanted to bring something a little more polished, if you will, than that. But I started seeing that as a reason not to bring anything. So I said, well, no, just come on. I like to say it old school, come as you are. Well, I'm coming as I am, and I'm going to be bringing this to you. I need your support and understanding. On the screen, you can see I'm on Twitter, Chaos963. I'm on Instagram. I'm in Facebook. I got some bunch of stuff I'm going to be putting up later date that you could see what I'm doing and where I'm going. I encourage you to contact me. Listen, this is important, and I'm going to leave you with this. Some of you have a strong word that needs to be heard. You have a word that needs to be shared, because what you bring to the cake is the ingredient that is missing. And don't take it for granted that what you have, I don't know about it. You got it. You got it. This has not been placed all in one place. It's been spread out. You have part of the puzzle. You have what's needed to help bring this into perfection, and you must bring it. You must bring it. So again, there's my information. I got a webpage, Chaos963.com. I'll get that up there as well, and contact me. Let me put you up, or help you get up, or maybe come up on your platform, or whatever. But let's not what does it say? Forsake the gathering of yourselves together. We know we can't do all that like we'd like, but we can come together on this media. They've afforded us a media, and not they. We've afforded this. You know, I'm gonna get into a lot of that, but it's our energy that has had this set up so that we can come and still communicate one another. And even without this, there's a consciousness. There's a community consciousness that we share and have shared. And I'm gonna talk about some of that. I got a lot of stuff I'm gonna be talking about, but I had to get on out in here. And so again, I'm gonna put this online. I hope some of you are catching it live. If not, I'll definitely be posting this up. And I'm gonna be back this evening at 7:30 for what would be my regular uptime here on Facebook. I'm going on YouTube, and I'm gonna do all I can. I'm gonna do my part. And so I thank you for listening. If you are, if you're not, you will be, because we're going to be getting this out of here. I like what one of the lady says on there, and I leave you the way that I came to you, and that's in peace. Thank you very much.